What's up, everybody? Yogi.jitsu here with another yoga session from BJJ Globetrotters. This time we're in the Leuven, Belgian camp. So this day we worked on a hip opening class, and we start seated here. So for the whole practice, try and breathe in and out through the nose. So keep the lips sealed as we work through the practice today. If anything is painful, just back out. Never go in to a point that's painful. You should experience discomfort when you're in stretches, but it should never be painful. So take it easy, have a nice, gentle practice, find your focus, and throughout, keep breathing. So we start with some breath and head and neck stretching. At this point, you can sit with your legs crossed, or you can kneel. You can sit on a block or a pillow or a cushion. Try and keep your spine straight. And in this position and in all positions, try and keep your face and head relaxed. If you find yourself working too hard or stressing in a position, just take a moment, take a breath, and release the tension from your forehead and from your face, and relax into each pose. So once we get through this early stage of the class, we're going to be working towards going into some deep hip opening postures. So we use the hips a lot in jiu-jitsu, and hip mobility is really going to help your game, especially if you're playing a lot on your back, to playing spider guard, your de la rivas, etc. Any kind of guard game, having flexible hips is going to help. So we're going to start the class here. We keep our spine straight and we start breathing. Take deep inhales, deep exhales in and out through the nose. Count the breaths up to 5. So inhale for a count of 5 and then exhale for a count of 5. Gradually make these breaths longer. Take the count through to 6, 7 or 8. Feel the air moving in through the nose, down the windpipe into the bottom of the stomach. Circulate that air back out through the lungs, back up through the windpipe and out through the nose. You can close your eyes at this point and become aware of the energetic flow of breath moving through the body. Warming up the lungs, engaging our cardiovascular system, trying to prepare everyone here for a good day of practice in jiu-jitsu. So warming up the neck now, just breathing normally through the nose. Take the hands behind the head, inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, take the chin towards the chest. The spine is straight, the shoulders are relaxed. Come out of the pose by pushing into your hands and coming back to a neutral neck position. Next, we take the hands beneath the chin, gently push the chin upwards with the thumbs, keeping the spine long and the shoulders relaxed. Keeping that awareness of our breath. Change. Take the right hand over the head. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Gently pull down through the hand to stretch the left hand side of your neck. Come out by pushing into the hand and change sides. Take the left hand over. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale. Bend over towards the left, gently pulling through the arm. By pushing to the hand with the head, back to a neutral spine. And turn your head to the right, point your chin towards the knee, grab the head this time from the back. So pull down on the back of the skull, take the chin towards the right knee. Remember to keep the spine long when you inhale and grab the head, this time taking the chin to the left knee. And then exhale, drop the chin towards the knee. This is just a nice way to warm up the body after you've been training. So here we're just looking to the left, looking to the right, looking up and looking down. And now we just move your head any way you like. You can drop the ears to the shoulders, you can make small circles. Do whatever your own neck needs to loosen up that last bit. Now we're going to roll forward onto all fours. Start working into our cat and cows. So we're going to start by breathing out here and arching the spine. And taking in a deep breath then, dropping the belly, lifting up the chest, looking up, inhaling, breathing in, looking up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, pushing down through the palms, rounding out the shoulders and rounding out the spine, fully emptying the lungs. Inhaling, lifting the hips slightly, dropping the belly, lifting the chest and looking up. Exhaling, arching the spine. Working now, inhaling and exhaling in your own time, working with your own breath, synchronizing movement with breath. Great stretch to loosen up the back and spine. It's quite a gentle stretch for any kind of back pain you might have. Finish the set and meet in the middle at a neutral spine. We're going to thread the needle now. So taking the hand up to the sky and then threading the right hand behind the left wrist. We're trying to keep our hips level here and take our right ear down to the mat. To go deeper, you can put your left hand on the sacrum, or you can take it all the way through and put it on the right thigh and pull on the thigh to twist the spine round a little more. Pay careful attention to the alignment of your hips. We're trying to keep the hips level. So you don't want a situation where the right hip is much higher than the left. Come out by pushing into the ground and come back to a neutral spine. This time taking the left hand up and threading it behind the right wrist. Going down to the mat, left ear on the mat, and to go deeper, you can put the right hand on your sacrum, or you can put the right hand all the way through and grab the left thigh. Pay attention to your breathing here. Keep the breathing steady and calm. Experiment by taking deeper inhales and exhales and see how that changes your stretch. Next, we're going to go into down dog. So the palms are beneath the shoulders. We tuck the toes into the mat. Feet and arms shoulder width and hip width apart. Lift the hips up, push back through the hands. The biceps go by the ears. And you can keep your knees bent here and begin to pedal out the legs. You can walk the legs left and right here. We're activating every major muscle group in the body, really warming things up now. Keep the flow of breath going. We're looking down towards the mat. The head is loose. You can shake your tail here, you can bend the legs. Eventually we're trying to work the heels towards the floor. I'm still working with torn meniscus in this video, so I can't straighten my legs out at all. So just take the pose where you need to work for your body. Keep pushing evenly through both palms. The knuckles are pressed down onto the floor, so the weight's evenly spread between the fingers. And then walk your legs slowly between the palms. Keep the knees bent. Keep the head heavy. Try and keep contact between the navel and the thighs. So keep the breath flowing here in and out through the nose. And just hang loose. Bend the knees as much as they need to get that contact between navel and thighs. Again, you can pedal out the legs left and right here, stirring the tops of our femurs in the hip joints. And now we're going to ragdoll, so grab the elbows. You can swing side to side, backward and forward. We're just letting gravity do the work here and stretch our head, neck, and spine down towards the ground, removing some of that compression in the spine. Now let the hands hang heavy, and very, very slowly, one vertebrae at a time, roll yourself back up to a standing position. When you get to the top, you can roll your shoulders back a few times. If you like, you can shake out your legs. And we'll start to go deeper into our practice. Next is Utkatasana or chair pose. So stand with your feet together, the heels are touching, the big toes are touching. Stand upright, take an inhale and stretch up, reach up towards the ceiling. If your shoulders are tight, you can take the hands apart or you can take them down like cactus. If your shoulders are good, then keep your palms pressed together, reach up, inhale, and then exhale, sit back into an imaginary chair. Take a look down, ensure that you can see the big toes. If you can't see the big toes, you need to sit back a little more. Keeping the knees together and the feet together. Stretch up and reach up. Trying to get the biceps by the ears here. Drop your tailbone down to keep the spine long. Keep breathing steadily in and out through the nose, stretching up with the arms and sitting down as you exhale into the chair. Find that focus and hold and change by coming out, pushing down into the ground and taking your hands into prayer. Chair pose with a twist. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, sit back in the chair. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist to the right. Hook the knee with your elbow. Push down into the palms to go deeper into the twist. Trying to keep the hips level here. Sit down lower in the chair. You can look over the right shoulder and up to the ceiling if that's available to you. Keep the energetic breath flowing through the lungs, and to come out, come back to the center and push down through the legs and change. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, sit back in the chair. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist to the left. Hook the knee with the elbow. Pushing down into the palms. Sitting down lower in the chair. Looking up over the left shoulder. Take a final deep inhale. Deep exhale and change. Come back to the center, push down through the feet and come back to the middle. Going into our warrior series now. If you're working on a yoga mat, stand at the front of your mat, hands on the hips and take a big step back with the left foot. Put your hands on your hip bones. Square the hip bones to the front. Take an inhale, stretch up and reach up to the sky. Again, your hands can be together or they can be apart or in cactus. Take an exhale and sink down. Bend the front knee. We're trying to get the front knee over the front ankle. Should be directly over the ankle, never in front of the ankle. Maybe you need to take a wider step if your knee is overshooting the ankle. The rear foot is pushing down into the mat. It's roughly 45 degrees and we're pushing down through the outside edge of the rear foot. Stretch up and look up as you inhale. Sink down deeper as you exhale and turn in the left hip as you exhale. Keep breathing in and out deeply through the nose. Keep your focus and change. Take the hands to the hips and step the feet together. We're going to go through on the other side with Warrior One, stepping back with the left foot, squaring our hips to the front, taking an inhale, reaching up, and exhaling, bending the front knee. Check that the knee is above the ankle, never in front of the ankle. Check you can see the big toe of the front foot. If you can't see the big toe, maybe you need to push the knee out to the side. The rear leg is very straight and very strong, pushing down to the outside edge of the foot, inhaling and stretching up to the ceiling, exhaling, turning in the right hip and sinking deeper into the pose. Take a deep inhale, deep exhale. To come out of the pose, place the hands on the hips and step the feet together. Next, we're going to do 3 poses in one. Warrior Two, Warrior Reversed, and Triangle. So stepping back with the left foot. This time, open the hips to the side. So if you're on a yoga mat, you open your hips to the long side of the mat. This time, your feet are at 90 degrees. So the front foot faces forward, the rear foot faces to the side. Inhale, taking the arms up to shoulder height, palms face downwards. Stretch the fingertips in opposite directions. Keep the spine straight. Take an inhale and then exhale, bend the front knee. Again, check that the knee is above the ankle, never in front. Check you can see the big toe on the front foot. Pushing down through the outside edge of the rear foot, the rear leg is straight and strong. Look towards the middle finger of the front hand. Find your focus and breathe. Really stretch the arms in opposite directions. Hold that focus. Keep the steady breath moving. And to change, flip the front palm upwards and then hinge. Lift the right hand up, stretch up to the ceiling, open the chest, and then exhale, bend that front leg, re-bend the front knee, and then take a deep inhale. Feel the chest open. Look up towards the hands if you can. The rear hand can be resting on the thigh for support. Keep breathing here and then change. Take the arms back to Warrior Two, palms face the floor, looking at the front hand, lean forward, stretch forward, pop out the rear hip. Once you can't stretch anymore, hinge at the hips. So both legs should be straight here. And you can look down, you can look forward, or you can look up towards the top hand. Trying to open the chest, really stretch the hands in opposite directions. Keep breathing and enjoy the twist you're feeling throughout the body. So I'm going to hold this for just a couple more breaths. Of course, if it's uncomfortable, you can come out. And if you want to come out, you can always go back in. Breathing in and out through the nose. And to come out, take an inhale, come out the way you went in. Hinging back upright. Put the hands on the hips and step the feet together. You can take one big step or you can take small steps. So we're going to go through on the other side, stepping back with the right foot. First is warrior two. So our hips are open to the side of the room. The front foot faces forward. The rear foot faces to the side. The knee is above the ankle. Again, check you can see the big toe on the front foot. Open the chest. Create the sensation of someone pulling your hands in opposite directions. Compressing the shoulders, opening the chest, keeping your spine straight and looking forward towards the middle finger of the front hand. Press down through the outside edge of the rear foot. Make the leg at the back really strong and stable. Focus on deep breaths and concentrate in the middle finger. Flip the palm and lift the left hand up towards the ceiling. Deep inhale and then exhale, bend the knee. Take another deep inhale and feel those intercostal muscles really begin to open. If you can, look up towards the top hand and change. Take it back to warrior two, arms, both legs are straight. Stretch the arms out, ready for triangle. Lean forward, reach forward and stretch forward. Pop out the rear hip, and then when you can't go anymore, hinge. Wherever your hand touches on the leg is where your triangle is today. It doesn't matter how high or low down the leg you are. We're working with your body type and body positioning. So we're trying to draw a straight line across both arms, stretching up and stretching down. Trying to keep the whole body in one plane, like the body's being squashed between two pieces of glass. Keep the breath going here. You can look down, you can look up, or you can look forward. There's no weight going through the lower hand. It's just gently resting on the shin. You can push into the shin with your knuckles to go deeper into the twist. Come out by inhaling back to warrior two, arms. And then we're going to turn the toes in. So both our feet now facing to the side. We're going to pigeon toe the feet slightly so the big toes point in and the heels point out. Take a deep inhale, lengthen your spine up, and then exhale, fold forward. Prasarita Padottanasana. Wide-legged forward fold. Try and keep the spine really straight, so stretch forward through the head and neck. And when you feel the spine about to round, put your hands down on the ground or on your shins. Your hands can go on the ankles, or if you're more flexible, you can grab the outside edges of your feet. Pull down through the arms, stretch forward through the head and neck. Try and keep the spine straight. So keep breathing deeply in and out through the nose here. Any knee issues, you might need to keep the knees bent here. Otherwise, you keep the legs straight and strong. To change, take a deep inhale, engage the core and come out back to standing, arms back at warrior two. Now we take the hands behind our back and interlock the fingers. Take a deep inhale, fill the chest with oxygen, roll back the shoulders and stretch up your spine. And then we're going into the fold. So exhale and forward fold. We're rounding the spine slightly more than last time. And we're trying to go deeper into the shoulders, trying to open up the shoulders here. Stretch the hands up behind your head. Try and lift them up towards the ceiling, working with the breaths to go deeper into the pose. You can take the weight slightly into the toes here if you've got good balance. Maybe you want to lift the heels slightly off the ground. Come out by inhaling, engaging your core and going back to standing. Arms back up shoulder height and step the feet together, arms above the head, and then exhale, lower the hands down to prayer. So we're going to turn and face the front again. If you're on a yoga mat, come to the front of your mat. We're going to take it down onto the mat. Now for floor series, we're going to go down there with a sun salutation. So inhale and stretch up. Exhale, fold forward with soft knees. Inhale, come up halfway, stretch forward with the head and neck, flat back. Exhale, step or jump back into a high plank. Lower yourself down through a press up onto the ground. Inhale, come forward into upward dog. And then exhale, tuck the toes, push back to downward dog. And then from down dog, we're just going to take it down onto our knees. And next, we're going to go into pigeon. So we're going to take the right knee towards the right ankle. Ideally, you're going to take the right foot towards the left ankle so that our leg is at 90 degrees parallel with our hips. Maybe if you're less flexible, you can take the foot back towards the hips a bit more. The rear leg is stretched out directly behind you. So coming up on the hands here, you should already feel a deep stretch in the right hip. Now it's fine to stay here. You can stay here and you're going to get good benefit from the stretch. If you want to go deeper, go down onto the forearms. It's quite an intense stretch. So anyone with knee problems, hip issues should definitely not go in too deep. To go deeper, you can stretch the arms out and take your head down onto the mat. Maybe you want to make a little pillow with your hands for your head. And now we just sink into the pose and really begin to work into this pose by using the breath. So breathing in and out through the nose, try and pinpoint exactly where you're finding tension within the hip joint. Breathe in through the nose and send the breath down into the hip to that position of tightness. As you exhale, try and release that tight spot. I keep working into this pose, creating space each time you exhale. Keep the face relaxed, keep the forehead relaxed. Keep the breath steadily flowing. Trying to find stillness in an uncomfortable position. So really just letting go here, resisting any urges to move or change position. Focus on your breath and release everything down into the mat. Now, if it gets too much, you can come out, go back onto the forearms, or come up on your hands and stay there. Or if you feel like it, you can go back in. And to change, we gently remove the right leg and change sides. So this time the left knee goes towards the left wrist, and we try and take the left ankle towards the right wrist. Stretch the right leg directly out behind you. We're up on the palms of the hands here. And you can stay here if you feel like you're getting good benefit into the hip. Or you can go deeper down onto the forearms. Maybe you want to make a pillow for your hands and stay there. Or you can go even deeper and stretch the arms out in front of you, taking your forehead down to the mat. Never going to a point of pain. So again, connect to the breath here. Breathe into the hip joint. Feel the flow of air moving down through the throat, through the chest, towards that hip. As you exhale, release any tension you find in the hip. Just dropping down each time you exhale. Check in with your hip alignment. Check that your hips are level, so not one hip is higher up than another. Stretch forward with the arms. Stretch backward with the right leg. Relax the face, your lips, your cheeks, the eyes, the forehead. Surrender into pigeon. So you can do this pose anytime you like, as long as you're warm. It's quite an intense pose. But after you finish jiu-jitsu training, fine to put this pose into your stretch down. Coming out the same way we went in, so taking the feet back together. Next we're going to dragon lunge. So we're on all fours here, and we're going to step forward with the right foot. The right foot is on the outside of the right hand. The left foot is stretching directly backwards. So you should feel an intense stretch again in the hip. You can stay exactly where you are, or you can take it down deeper, going down onto your forearms. So if you're stuck somewhere in between arms up and forearms down, you can use a yoga block, or you can use a pillow, or you can fold up your gi and use that as a block and put your forearms on that block. The process here is the same, working with the breath to go deeper into the pose. Relaxing everything. And sinking down with gravity into the mats. So maybe it's good to close the eyes here and really pinpoint where the tension is in the hips. Zoom in on that tension, and as you exhale, try and release tension. If you specifically want to work on hip flexibility, you can do pigeon and dragon lunge on their own once you're warm, and you can hold these positions for 10-15 minutes and really begin to work on hip flexibility. So Just trying to keep still, working with our breath, dropping deeper into the pose. Let's take a few more breaths. And then we're coming back to neutral and switching sides. So stepping forward this time with the left foot. The left foot is on the outside of the palms. Stretching the right foot directly straight behind us. And sinking down into the pose. Sinking into dragon lunge. You can stay up on the arms or go down deeper onto the forearms. Relax everything, sink down into the pose. Release any tension from the mouth, the lips, the face. Relax your shoulders. And drop down a little bit deeper each time you exhale. Now this pose might feel different each time you do it, all depending on what you've been doing during the day. So don't push it too hard to try and get to where you were yesterday or last week. Always be present with where you are in the moment. So we're coming out now back to all fours. And we're just going to roll over onto our backs into Savasana. The feet are not touching. The hands are not touching anything. Open your palms up towards the ceiling. Just close your eyes and relax. Just done a few intense stretches there. We're just going to give our body a chance to absorb those poses. Before we go into some back bends. So resist the temptation to move. Just relax the face, the shoulders, the arms, the legs. Completely relax every muscle in your body. Breathing in and out through the nose. We're going to do a little back bend here, which is bridge pose. So press the feet into the mat. The knees are up towards the ceiling. With the fingertips, touch the heels. It's a distance check to check that your feet are in the right position. The knees and feet are hip width apart and parallel. Try and keep the legs parallel throughout. Take an inhale and then exhale. Push your hips up towards the ceiling. We're lifting the bum off the ground. Relax the glutes here. Push down into the mat with your palms and breathe deeply in and out through the nose. Keep the knees parallel. Relax the glutes. And hold. And release. Come down to the mat and stretch out the legs. Rolling onto our front, we're going to go into Cobra. So for this one, the arms are beneath the shoulders. Trying to keep the fingertips in line with the shoulders. Pin in your elbows tight into the body. The feet and legs are zipped up together and your toes push down into the mat. Take an inhale and lift the upper body towards the ceiling. So we're trying to use core strength here, so we're not pushing down much through the hands. Pin in the elbows to the side of the body and relax the shoulders away from the ears. If you can, look up towards the ceiling, but relax the forehead. Take it down to the mat now and change. This time take the hands out a little wider and open the legs. This time we're going to use 70 to 80% arm strength, lifting up, pin the elbows into the side of the body, relax the shoulders away from the ears, relax the glutes, look up towards the ceiling, ensure your forehead is relaxed. Keep breathing, full lungs, open the chest, and exhale, release down. Take your arms by the side and look to the right. Put the left ear on the mat and just relax here for a couple of breaths. Gentle stretch on the neck. And change. Come to the center, stretch your arms forward, stretch your legs backwards. Put your forehead down on the mat and keep the forehead on the mat throughout this pose. Take in a deep inhale and stretch forward with the right arm and stretch backward with the left leg. So the right hand is stretching forward and upwards, the left leg is stretching backwards and upwards. Keep breathing, stretching, reaching, stretching and reaching. Hold it here and change. Release everything down to the mat. Next, we're going to change sides. So inhale and stretch forward with the left hand, stretch backward with the right arm. Forehead's pressing down into the mat. Breathing deeply in and out through the nose, reaching and stretching, holding that position. And change, release it down to the mat. This time it's both arms, both legs, forehead still down on the mat. Take an inhale and go. Lift forward, lift backwards. We're trying to create the sensation of someone pulling our fingers from one direction and pulling our feet from the opposite direction, creating a natural traction in the spine, decompressing those vertebrae. Really stretch forward, really stretch backward, and release. Next, we're going to go into bow pose, Dhanurasana. We're going to take the arms by the side here and look to the left for a moment though, and take a few breaths. So the right ear's down on the mat. Relax everything here. And then come back to the center. Bend up the knees, the soles of feet towards the ceiling. Reach back with your hands and grab the toes, or if you can't reach them, you can grab the ankles. We're trying to keep the knees parallel here. Take an inhale, kick back through the legs, lift the chest up. Kicking and lifting in equal measure here. Keep breathing deeply in and out through the nose, kicking back, lifting up, kicking back, and lifting up. Take it to the maximum here. Deep breaths in and out. It's an intense pose. Hold the position at the maximum and slowly release. Everything down to the mat. Turn and look to the right. Left ear is on the floor. Take a few breaths here. Just calm everything down, the breath. Calm down your nerves a little. And then we're going to do bow pose once more, this time slightly differently. So we're going to try and reach through from the inside this time and put our thumb between the big toe and the first toe. If you can't reach that, you can just grab the first grip or you can just hold the ankles like we did first time. Take in a deep breath here and kick back. Kick the legs up, lift the chest and look up towards the ceiling. Try and relax the shoulders away from the ears. Intense stretch, really work it here. Working with the breath, breathing in, exhaling and kicking back and lifting up, maybe rolling forward a bit onto the abdomen. Taking the opportunity to really push this pose, take it to the maximum and then release. Let everything relax down onto the mat. Turn and look to the left. You can close the eyes and take a couple of breaths here. And we're going to work our way into downward dog, pushing back just for a couple of breaths. You can keep the knees bent here, and then we're going to look forward and jump between the hands and then roll back. Just take a few rolls here, backward and forward, side to side, giving the lower spine a gentle massage. Okay, once you've had enough of rolling around on the floor, we're going to take it back upright to seated and do some forward bends. So take the sole of the left foot to the right thigh. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward. Grab the ball of the right foot. So bend the right knee here and make contact between the forehead and the right knee. Bend the knee as much as you need to get that connection. So working with the breath, as always, as you inhale, stretch forward, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, sink a little deeper, kick the leg out and stretch the leg more. Always keeping contact between the forehead and the knee. If you're really flexible and you can get the leg almost straight, you can take the head more towards the toe. So slide it beyond the knee towards the shin. Maybe one day you can get your forehead down towards the ankle. So by keeping the knee bent, it allows us to get into any tightness in the hip. Come out by inhaling, stretching up, and then releasing the hands. We're taking a seated twist. So take the left foot over the right knee. Place the left foot on the ground outside the right knee. Hug the knee, make the spine straight. Post the left hand at the sacrum for support. Inhale, take the right hand up. Exhale, twist to the left and hook the knee with the elbow. Keeping a spine straight here. Each time you inhale, lengthen up and stretch up towards the ceiling. Each time you exhale, push into the knee with the elbow and twist round some more. So as you breathe in, you open space between the vertebrae. As you exhale, you fill that space with the twist. Take a final deep inhale and exhale round to the maximum and then release back to the middle. Change sides. So this time take the sole of the right foot on the right thigh. Keep the left leg bent. Inhale and stretch up. Exhale, fold forward, sucking in the belly. Contact between the forehead and the knee. Breathe in, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Just sink deeper into the pose, trying to kick that heel out a little further. Keep the breath flowing. And we come up by taking a deep inhale and releasing the hands down, stepping the right foot over the knee for our twist. Hug the knee and make the spine really straight. This time we're going to post the right hand at the sacrum for support. The left hand stretches up and exhale, twist to the right and hook the knee with the elbow. So working with the breath once more. Take a deep inhale and lengthen up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, push into the knee with your arm and twist round to the right. So giving the internals a nice squeeze and giving the spine a nice twist. Keep working with your breath. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist, and release back to the middle. This time, stretch out both your feet Stretch up on an inhale, suck in the belly as you exhale, and reach forward with your 2 fingers, your peace fingers, and grab the big toe. Pull through the arms on the big toes. We're trying to get contact between the navel and the thighs, so keep the knees as bent as you need them. It doesn't matter how much you bend those knees. This really allows us to get into any tightness in the hips. So keep working with the breath. Breathe in, lengthen the spine. Breathe out. Maybe you want to kick the heels forward, or maybe it feels good to wiggle the hip bones back a little to get deeper into this one. And then we're going to release and take it down to the mat. Just a couple more poses left here. Begin with wind removing. Hug the right knee. Interlock the fingers on the knee. If you can't reach the top of the knee, you can grab behind the knee and pull on the thigh. So keep breathing here. And to go deeper, drop the knee out to the side. Avoid the rib cage and pull the knee more towards the shoulder. It might feel nice to close your eyes for the rest of the practice. They're quite gentle stretches to close our practice. We're going to change sides now, wind removing on the left. So take the left knee up, interlock the fingers around the knee, or you can grab behind the knee. Stretch out the right foot in front of you. Keep the head down on the mat and tuck your chin slightly to keep the neck long. To go deeper, drop the knee out to the side, avoid the rib cage, and take the knee more near the armpit. And then release the leg and take both knees up this time. If you can, fold your arms and hug your knees. If not, you can just hold the knees with each hand. Either way, our head is released down to the mat and we just pull the knees in, hug the knees, working with the breath. Try and stretch your tailbone down towards the mat. Think of the lower spine and try and elongate that down towards the ground. And change, release the legs. We're going to take our spine twist, Supta Matsyendrasana. So we bend up the right knee and tuck the big toe behind the left kneecap. Reach up with the left arm and drop the right knee towards the left-hand side. Reach out with the right arm, the palm goes flat on the ground, and look towards the right arm. It's nice to close your eyes here and completely relax everything down into the mat. So it's more important to have the right hand down on the mat than the left knee towards the mat. Gently pushing on the left knee, calming down the breath, calming down the nervous system, slowing everything down towards the end of our practice. Relax the forehead, relax the lips, the eyes. Take any tension from the body wherever it may be. And to come out, just roll back to the center and we go through on the other side. This time, tuck the toes of the left foot behind the right knee, reach up and grab the left knee. Twist to the side, the left hand comes shoulder height, palm down. Look towards the left hand. Check in with your breath. relaxing a little more each time you exhale, and maybe twisting a little bit more as you exhale, slowing everything down. You can begin to check in with the body. Just notice how you feel towards the end of your practice. And then release everything to the center for Savasana. Stretch out your arms to the side, the palms face up to the ceiling. Check that your arms and legs aren't touching anything. And just relax and release. Let everything sink down deeper into the mat. There's nothing to do here besides relax. So you can stay in Savasana as long as you like, but we're on a time limit here, so we're coming out by rolling into a fetal position, opening our eyes, and we're getting ready to do some jiu-jitsu in a minute. We thank everyone for checking in with the video. You can find me on Instagram as yogi.jitsu. Please subscribe. I'm going to keep posting videos. Until next time, namaste.